On this island, where the sky meets the sea, knowledge finds its home. This is the Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Khairun, a place where education is not just learned, but lived, where the tide of wisdom shapes the leaders of tomorrow. Rooted in the heart of the archipelago, we embrace the rhythm of maritime life resilience, ever-evolving and boundless. Our faculty prepares students not just for the world of economic and business, but for the future of an interconnected globalized society. Diversity is our greatest wealth. Here, voices from different islands, cultures, and traditions blend into one harmonious symphony of learning. In this melting pot of ideas, we cultivate adaptability, collaboration, and innovation qualities essential for tomorrow's economic pioneers. With a faculty dedicated mentors, we go beyond textbook and the theories. Through research, innovation, and community empowerment, we nurture minds that think critically and act decisively, shaping sustainable economic solutions for our region and beyond. The spirit of enterprise thrives within our hall. Through our study programs and industry partnership, we forge a bridge between knowledge and action, turning ideas into impactful ventures that transform lives. This is more than a faculty, it's a gateway to endless possibilities. Join us at the Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Khairun and become part of legacy shaped by the waves, driven by knowledge and destined for greatness. Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Khairun.
Welcome to AIBPM, the Association of International Business and Professional Management.
We connect academics, professionals, and students worldwide.
Through international conferences, workshops, publications, and global projects, with more than 5,600 members and partnerships across leading universities. NIBPM is building a strong global network in education, business, and professional management.
Hi, my name is Roland Perdana. I think this is a very good opportunity to join this conference.
Hello, my name is Ferry Prastia. I am very happy to join this international seminar with IBPM, and this is a good impression for me to enrich my knowledge.
Hello, my name is Bohirjon Sodikov. I'm from Tajikistan. We are so happy that we join such kind of conference.
Join us and be part of the international movement. AIBPM. Innovate, collaborate, inspire.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the conference, and in order to avoid any noisy sound during the conference, I would like to ask you to stay muted and please rename your Zoom's display name accordingly to your role. For presenters, please add letter R followed by your room's number and your full name. For session chairs, please add SC in the beginning, followed by R with your room's number and your full name. Thank you. To the Honorable Professor Dr. Abdullah Wejabit, SAMM, as Director of Khairun University. To the Honorable Dr. Candidate Muhsin N. Bailusi, SAMSE, the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business, Khairun University. To the Honorable Dr. Lim Gaisin, the President of AIBPM. And to the Honorable Mrs. Ira Christiana, the Vice President of AIBPM. And the last one, to the Honorable Mr. and Mrs. Presenters, lecturers, distinguished guests, fellow participants, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dandi Bayu Firdaus, the MC for today's conference, and I'm very pleased and honored to be here. First of all, we would like to extend a warmly welcome to all of you to this prestigious event, the 2025 Second International Conference on Economics, Business, and Accounting, held under the theme of Transforming Economics through AI, Technology, and Strategic Management, today on 14 November 2025. This conference is held by Faculty of Economics and Business, Khairun University, Indonesia, and in collaboration with Association of International Business and Professional Management, AIBPM. Also, we are delighted to welcome distinguished speakers and participants from across the globe, such as Indonesia, Malaysia, China, India, Pakistan, Nigeria, and more whom I believe will greatly enrich our perspective and knowledge. We would also like to express our sincere appreciation to AIBPM for their valuable support in making this conference possible, also to Khairun University. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we start the session, I would like to invite all of us to listen to Indonesia National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. Thank you. Next, I would like to invite all of you to watch the Unhair and AIBPM profile video.
On this island, where the sky meets the sea, knowledge finds its home. This is the Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Khairun, a place where education is not just learned but lived, where the test of wisdom shapes the leaders of tomorrow. Rooted in the heart of the archipelago, we embrace the rhythm of maritime life resilience, ever evolving and boundless. Our faculty prepares students not just for the world of economic and business, but for the future of an interconnected globalized society. Diversity is our greatest wealth. Here, voices from different islands, cultures, and traditions blend into one harmonious symphony of learning. In this melting pot of ideas, we cultivate adaptability, collaboration, and innovation qualities essential for tomorrow's economic pioneers. With a faculty dedicated mentors, we go beyond textbook and the theories. Through research, innovation, and community empowerment, we nurture minds that think critically and act decisively, shaping sustainable economic solutions for our region and beyond. The spirit of enterprise thrives within our hall. Through our study programs and industry partnership, we forge a bridge between knowledge and action, turning ideas into impactful ventures that transform lives. This more than a faculty is a gateway to endless possibilities. Join us at the Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Khairun and become part of legacy shaped by the waves, driven by knowledge and destined for greatness. Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Khairun.
Welcome to AIBPM, the Association of International Business and Professional Management.
We connect academics, professionals, and students worldwide.
Through international conferences, workshops, publications, and global projects, with more than 5,600 members and partnerships across leading universities. NIBPM is building a strong global network in education, business, and professional management.
Hi, my name is Roland Perdana. I think this is very good opportunity to join this conference.
Hello, my name is Ferry Prastia. I am very happy to join this international seminar with IBPM, and this is a good impression for me to enrich my knowledge.
Hello, my name is Vijay. I'm from Tajikistan. We are so happy that we join such kind of conference.
Join us and be part of the international movement. AIBPM. Innovate, collaborate, inspire.
Thank you. Now, please welcome Professor Dr. Abdullah Wejabit SAMM as Director of Khairun University to deliver the welcoming speech for the 2025 second ICEBAT. Prof. Abdullah, the stage is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Nama Budaya, Salam Kebajikan. Puji syukur kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, karena atas limpahan rahmat dan karunia-Nya kita dapat berjumpa dalam forum ilmiah yang bergengsi ini, Konferensi Internasional Ekonomi Bisnis dan Akuntansi 2025. Saya merasa sangat terhormat dapat menyampaikan sambutan pada konferensi yang tahun ini mengusung tema Transforming Economic Strong AI Technology and Strategies Management. Tema ini sangat relevan dengan dinamika perubahan global yang ditandai oleh percepatan kemajuan teknologi, kecerdasan buatan, dan tuntutan pengelolaan strategis dalam berbagai sektor kehidupan. ICEBAT hadir sebagai ruang kolaborasi intelektual bagi para akademisi, peneliti, dan cendekiawan dari berbagai negara untuk berbagai gagasan, pengalaman, serta hasil penelitian terbaru. Melalui forum ini, kita berharap muncul beragam perspektif baru dalam memahami tantangan dan peluang pengembangan ilmu pengetahuan dan teknologi, serta menemukan solusi strategis yang dapat diterapkan untuk menjawab persoalan ekonomi dan bisnis di era digital saat ini. Penyelenggaraan ICEBAT 2025 di Kota Manado pada tanggal 14 sampai 15 November 2025 menjadi momentum penting untuk mempererat jejaring akademik lintas institusi dan lintas negara. Kehadiran para keynote speaker berkaliber internasional tentu akan memperkaya hasanah keilmuan kita dan mendorong lahirnya kolaborasi yang produktif di bidang riset, inovasi, dan teknologi, khususnya dalam menghadapi era society 5.0. Saya menyampaikan penghargaannya setinggi-tingginya kepada seluruh panitia pelaksana, narasumber, dan peserta yang telah berpartisipasi aktif dalam mensukseskan kegiatan ini. Upaya Bapak dan Ibu sekalian dalam menyebarluaskan pengetahuan, membangun kerjasama ilmiah, dan mengembangkan riset inovatif merupakan kontribusi nyata bagi kemajuan ilmu pengetahuan dan peningkatan kesejahteraan sosial masyarakat. Akhirnya, saya mengucapkan selamat mengikuti konferensi ICEBAT 2025. Semoga kegiatan ini berlangsung dengan sukses dan memberikan manfaat bagi kemajuan ilmu ekonomi, bisnis, dan akuntansi, sekaligus memperkuat peran akademisi dalam membangun masa depan yang berkelanjutan dan berkeadapan. Terima kasih. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the wonderful speech, Professor Abdullah. We are really lucky to have such a great and remarkable people to support this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very pleased to officially announce that the 2025 Second International Conference on Economics, Business and Accounting is now begin. Welcome to the 2025 Second ICEBAT. Ladies and gentlemen, now please turn on your camera so we can have photo together with all participants. I think Miss Alyssa will take over for a while for this session.
Thank you, Mr. Dandi. So to all participants, please turn on your camera so we can take photos together for the 2025 ICEBAT. All right, I will take photos from the gallery 1. Oh, okay, still there are some people want to turn on the camera. Please turn on the camera as soon as possible. Okay, please get ready. 3, 2, 1. And then we move to the next gallery. Please turn on your camera. 3, 2, 1. And then the next gallery on 3, 2, 1. And then next gallery, 3, 2, 1. And then last gallery, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dandi. You can continue the session.
Thank you, Miss Alisa. Ladies and gentlemen, also we would like to invite you to share the photos taken during this conference on your Instagram and use the hashtag 2025 ICEBAT, hashtag Khairun University, hashtag info IBPM, and hashtag info for academia. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at AIBPM.conference and subscribe to our channel AIBPM Talk Series, where you can stay updated on our events, publication opportunities, and watch recording from our conference. At long last, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for me to introduce the keynote speakers for today's conference. We have 5 keynote speakers, and the first one is Dr. Man Hin Evi and Chan from THEi of Hong Kong. The second one is Dr. Aizza Anwar from Universiti Malaya, Malaysia. The third one is Dr. Vijay Anant Athavale from Walchand Institute of Technology, India. The fourth one is Dr. Mohan Cherian from Presidency University, India. And the last one is Dr. Viana Imad Hassan from European Tourism and Events Training Academy from Malta. In order to start the conference, please welcome our mods today, Mr. Muhammad Ali Mughal.
Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much, Mr. Dandi, for introducing me. Welcome to today's session. My name is Muhammad Ali Mughal, and I'll be your moderator for this event. Before we begin, allow me to share a few guidelines and provide an overview of our keynote speaker lineup, as already shared by Dr. Dandy. Today, we are honored to have 5 keynote speakers, Dr. Manhin Eve Nwaogu Chan from the of Hong Kong, the higher education of Hong Kong, Dr. Aizza Anwar, Universiti Malaya, Malaysia, Dr. Vijay Anant Athavale, Walchand University of Technology, India, and Dr. Mohan Cherian, Presidency University, India, and Dr. Viana Imad Hassan, European Tourism and Events Training Academy, Malta. I can see many familiar faces and many familiar blank profile pictures. So guys, let's make it more interactive and turn on your cameras if you may. To the person who chose the pre-session music, me and everyone here are vibing now. I'm sure the participants are already thinking of weekend vibes. We are all in a great mood to kick off things today. So here are a few important rules of today's session. All online participants will be muted during the presentation. There will be a question and answer session after the keynote speaker finishes their presentations. The moderator has the authority to choose who will deliver the question or suggestion. For our keynote speakers, after completing your presentation, we kindly invite you to join the breakout room provided by the organizers to share a short testimonial about the conference. This will only take around 1 to 3 minutes, and our master of the ceremony will be there to guide you and record your testimonials. Before I start, I would like to inform you that each keynote speaker has 30 minutes to present their slides, and question and answer session would follow. After all keynote speakers have finished the presentation session, It is our pleasure to introduce Dr. Manhin Eve Nwaogu Chan from the Technological and Higher Education Institute of Hong Kong. Can we have the video played? Doc
呢排幫我拍得唔得？呢排幫我拍啊！唔得，拜拜。
Dr. Eve Chan is an assistant professor from the Technological and Higher Education Institute of Hong Kong. She earned her PhD in fashion and textile marketing and merchandising from the Institute of Textile and Clothing, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, in 2009. Prior to joining the Technological and Higher Education Institute, Dr. Chan was a research fellow at the Hong Kong Community College, HK Poly University, and visiting lecturer of the Hong Kong Design Institute. In terms of her professional experience, she has served as global business controller and manager of the internationally renowned fashion company H&M. Dr. Chan possesses extensive industrial experience in buying, merchandising, marketing, and retailing before commencing her academic career. Currently, Dr. Chan is managing several competitive research projects in international trade of fashion and textile, location analysis of production in the Belt and Road Initiative, as well as econometric modeling. I would like to call Dr. Chan, and the floor is yours.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your introduction. So let me share my screen. Okay, so everyone can see it.
Yes, we can see us.
Okay, thank you very much. So thank you for the opportunity to be the keynote speaker of today 2025 ICEBAT conference. So today I would like to talk about the topic regarding the advancing sustainable design practice in textile and clothing industry, a post-pandemic perspective. Okay, so as you may know that during 2019 to 2023, there's quite a global challenge in the world. That's COVID-19 pandemic caused there's a lot of disruption across all section of the global economy, particularly in the textile and clothing sector, because they rely heavily on global supply chain. From the graphic downstairs, you can see that there are so many factory closed, so many retail store closed, and there's because of this pandemic, there's a supplier or the buyer, they would like to cancel their orders. So there's a lot of stock in the factory, and then people losing job. There's a very serious unemployment rate in fashion and textile industry, as well as the female labor. They cannot get any work to do because of the cancel order due to a factory close, and that is a very serious problem during pandemic time of fashion and textile industry. But despite the fact of COVID-19 board, maybe we think that there is some opportunity for the textile and clothing industry will be reset after the market reopen in 2023. You may know that textile and clothing industry is known for its very negative environmental impact. From the right hand side, you can see that we are the second largest polluting industry in the world. We have, by the numbers, there is a 17 to 20% global water polluter due to we are using leathers, we are using denim, denim jeans, denim jackets, all this stuff. They will pollute the water, and they need a lot of water and heat to produce all this beautiful clothes. As well as if we like to grow the cotton, it's also waste a lot of water in the world. So you can see that every time we use 200,000 liters of water for 1 kg cotton. And then we also produce 21 billion ton of rubbish every year, 10% global carbon emission, because particularly for the luxuries sector, they would like to meet the peak season of the retail. That's why they always like to deliver the clothes by freight. So there's a lot of carbon emission from our industry. So you can see that we have an urgent need for a fundamental shift towards more sustainable practice in textile and clothing production. The literature review, we just have a briefly one. The concept have been developed over the past decade. Sustainable development is important. We have to acquire, use, reuse, and dispose the used material and make it like new stuff and sell in the market. Or we can think about that how we can reuse the material, or how we can we design the waste material to be the new one and sell to the market. We also think about that maybe fast fashion is not working out, so we think about those as slow fashion movement. For example, we think about eco fashion, green fashion, and ethical fashion. Like if you have, let's say, if you have $1,000 for changing your wardrobe during the new season, you may think about that. Let's go to the fast fashion company to buy, let's say, to buy 10 clothes, or you think about that. Let's go to the better quality luxurious brand to buy 1 jacket instead of 10. So that there's no fashion movement. Mean like you're willing to buy some durable clothing instead of the lower quality stuff, so that you can wear longer time and then make the environment more sustainable, because you will not just buy the fast fashion and then after 1 season you will throw it, and then you just waste it in the landfill. And the sustainable practice, including the circular economy, including reuse, repurpose, upcycling concept, and driver and barrier for sustainable practice, like we think about the market economy, because some people they may think that buying some sustainable green fashion maybe raise up the price. So we have to educate the new generation, educate the public. That may not be true. And for the social cultural sector, for example, like in the Western European country, they are the pioneer to talk about sustainable practice. Why? Because their asset is their ocean. They have a lot of seafood. They cannot allow people to pollute their sea in order to affect their income, right? So there is a social and cultural difference. But if you are talking about in Asia, in China, previously in 1980, we do not have a very strict environmental regulation, so they don't know how to manage all these polluted water. They just flood to the ocean and pollute it globally. And institutional, regulational, the government need to think about that, how to help the factory. If we impose all this regulation, we can keep the price. We cannot raise up the price, because if we increase the price, the ultimate goal is we cannot get the customer to buy our clothing, right? And the technological advancement, how this stuff can help the sustainable practice, like can we have the technology to regenerate the polyester, we design or we use all this stuff from the clothing and go back to the flat like H&M do now. And the stakeholders, we have to educate the designer, manufacturer, consumer, what is the concept of sustainable practice, and what is the advantage of doing it. And we also need to think about how we can changing in the consumer behavior, like the changes in operation of the fashion industry. We lay off of a garment worker in Asia. They will have a very high impact of Asia developing country. And the business losses and unsold inventory during COVID-19, the designer fashion they cancel their order. So they just put all this waste material to the landfill and pollute the world. And then we have to think about that. We have to adopt of the new sales channel through the social media, so that they will have an OB channel. They will have 24 hours seamless collection with the world. And then they have the increased demand for second-hand textile and clothing. In Japan, there is a quite popular one. They would like to sell their second-hand luxury brand handbag. Also, they would like to sell their second-hand denim jeans. But of course, they have the very strict regulation to make the clothes in a very high tier of hygienic way. They will have a different kind of level to keep the clothes, and then still they can maintain the price. Or even you can see that some of the second clothes, Levi's denim jacket is more expensive than the new one. And the sustainable framework, like as I said before, they have 5 areas. They including design, raw material production, manufacturing, retail marketing, storage, consumption, and end of life. So in my research, we have interviewed some of the expertise, like how industry practitioner perceive and evaluate the impact of COVID-19 on sustainable practice in the textile and clothing industry. And we collect the data during 2022 to 2023. We use the sampling, which we know all these people in the international company, include fashion retail, international fashion retailer, manufacturer, as well as the textile trader. And the job position, including the retail operation director, chief operation director, fashion designer, technical designer, product designer, as well as the business controller. And their experience of working around 10 to 26 years. So we conduct 20 in-depth interview around 1 hour with them in the textile and clothing industry in Hong Kong. And the interviews transcribed and then coded. We use the software called Vivo to be coded for film formation. And the interview film, we will talk about the fashion design concept in the fashion and textile industry, attitude towards sustainability, post COVID-19. What is the government support for sustainability in textile and clothing industry? Another discussion include there's 5 key findings. For example, the sustainability textile and clothing integrate in company CSR policy, increase in sustainable design techniques and practice, call for government support, promote sustainability and textile and clothing education through there's an NGO called Vijay, and then we will every year we will invite them to the school, even kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, and tertiary institute to promote what the sustainability mean. And they also collect some of the secondhand, some of the clothes, and then they will sort out and then do the secondhand sale, or they will use all this waste clothing to do the global fashion design competition. And the consumer shift for sustainability as well. So for the consumer shift for sustainability after COVID-19, COVID-19 was a wake-up call for consumer to prioritize their wardrobe and support environmentally friendly initiative. For example, one of the fashion designer talked about that our consumers are more conscious of the environmental impact of their fashion choices. That means, as I said before, so when you buy a clothes, you would like to buy a lower price clothes, but the color will fade out in one season, or you would like to buy a little bit more quality clothing so that you can use more durable. And the consumer also rethink that their shopping habit. They now focus on quality over quantity and invest in timeless, sustainable pieces that will last. That is what exactly I just explained to you guys from the global business controller. And for the sustainable textile and clothing integrated in company CSR policy, the and motivate us to make more responsible choices. And that is from product developer, And the other thing is also from the senior technical designer also expressed his feeling is we became more aware of the connection between human health and the environmental impact of the fashion industry. Choosing sustainable material and design is a way to protect both. So they will think about they use the organic cotton, they use the natural fiber like wool, like cashmere, like silk, rather than use a handmade fiber, synthetic fiber, or polyester, and increase the sustainable design techniques and practice from COVID-19 raised the changes in the fasten the changes in the industry, promote company to rethink their design process and need for sustainable design techniques and practice. From a business controller, he talked about that the crisis highlight the challenging in the fashion supply chain. My company now prioritizes suppliers that are transparent about their sourcing and production practice. So we have to think about that. If you're choosing a supplier, it's not only about the price. We think about that how they can show the data transparency, how they do such thing, all the things sourcing production in a sustainable way. And we would like to call for the government support as well. So this satisfaction with the little support and promotion of sustainable in the industry reflects similar findings from the other previous study as well. In Hong Kong, we think about that government did not support us well. Industry players seek more active role from the government in collaborating with stakeholders and industry practitioners to strengthen Hong Kong position as a region textile and clothing trade sector. And how we can promote sustainability in textile and clothing education. So we think about that how we can have emphasis greater for the subject of sustainability in textile and clothing education. From the retail operation director, she expressed that it is a very important for future fashion professionals to have a strong foundation in sustainable practice to address environmental and social challenges of the industry. And as the industry changing and evolving, it's essential for educational institutions to prioritize teaching sustainable design principle and production method during our fashion and textile field. So the conclusion is COVID-19 fastened the integration of sustainability for more sustainable fashion consumption and production in the textile and clothing industry. And the industry's practitioners in Hong Kong had a proactive response towards sustainable practice, already actively incorporating sustainable design techniques and material into their practice, into their design, into their thinking, into their mindset, and into their manufacturing process. So we have to provide education and training program focused on educating sustainable practice to equip the future workforce with necessary knowledge and skill to face and changing industry of textile and clothing. And we would like to ask for more help from the government. We would like the government provide stronger regulatory framework like the tax incentive for the sustainable business, more strict regulation on environmental standards, more research support for development of sustainable material and technologies. So this is what I would like to present today, and thank you for your patience and attention. If you have any question, then you can ask me now or later. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chan, for an amazing presentation. Anyone who has questions, I will just request you to ask them at the end of the session where all the presenters have already presented. So we'll move towards the next presenter. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our second speaker, Dr. Aizza Anwar from University of Malaya, Malaysia. Doctor, can we have the video played for Dr. Aizza? Until we have the video played, I'll just introduce Dr. Aizza. Dr. Aizza Anwar brings over 5 years of academic experience as a lecturer and researcher. She is currently serving as a senior lecturer at University of Malaya, Malaysia, and holds a PhD in management with a specialization in organizational behavior and development from Universiti Sains, Malaysia. She has been an active speaker at numerous academic and industrial conferences in Pakistan and Malaysia, and has been a member of the advisory board of Athavale, Pakistan since 2015. She has published extensively in reputable journals and regularly serves as a reviewer for leading academic publications. Her primary research interests includes workplace mistreatment and ethics, organizational behavior, leadership, digitalization, student e-learning, and psychological distress. Dr. Aizza Anwar has also demonstrated leadership by serving for the past 3 years in key roles at the International Youth Conference in Malaysia. In addition to her academic and leadership contribution, she is a lifelong member of Association of International Business and Professional Management, AIBPM. She has collaborated on various government-funded projects in Malaysia, including initiatives with the Penang Youth Development Corporation and Penang State Government Social Development Division. Dr. Aizza Anwar, the time is yours.
Hello. Let me share my slides with you.
Yeah, sure.
So you can see the slides?
Not yet. Yeah.
Can
you just put it on the slideshow? Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for a detailed introduction. So yes, I am currently serving as an academic staff at University of Malaysia. And the topic I'm going to discuss here with you on navigating digital transformation, managing techno stress, and empowering creativity through digital knowledge management. This is one of my funded projects I'm currently working on. So the results are not finalized. It's like 3 years project, so it's ongoing. But I find the topic more relevant to the theme of this conference. So I would like to discuss this with you. So like few things which is quite relevant here is when we are looking into the digital transformation, we are talking about that how it is affecting every course of our life. Doesn't matter you are working in a corporate organization, in academia, you are working with hospitality industry, or even if you're a student. So these things are there, and we are under constant pressure to keep up with the digital transformation. So this idea actually inspired me from a discussion we had with one of my students and academic staff when we were discussing how the AI has changed the students are working. And when we were talking about with the corporate sector that they are under constant demand to come up with innovative stuff when it comes to AI, and how the use of AI actually has blurred the boundaries between their work and non-work time. So we have discussed in the past, and the research has been published on a lot on the idea that how the digital transformation, how AI has positively affecting our life. But we are kind of shy when it comes to the discussion that how it might affect negatively our lives also. So I want to highlight the techno stress, the area where we see that how creativity and in general, our satisfaction with life and work affects because of the digital transformation. So how we discuss techno stress. So techno stress can be your overload, complexity, invasion, or uncertainty, everything when it comes to the use of AI in our life. We have a good understanding that what digital knowledge management is. It can be as simple as a use of your AI, your email, to the use of any kind of digital knowledge software we have in the organization. So the area of concern for this research, it has been about the digital knowledge worker in Malaysia particularly, but of the research, the prior research which has been discussed, it highlighted that it actually affects everyone around the globe. So let's dive in a little what the literature talks about when it comes to digital knowledge management. So it talks about the systematic acquisition, sharing, and utilization of knowledge through digital platforms. It could affect, yes, employee satisfaction, productivity, and organization performance, the positive side of digital knowledge management. And when we look into the processes, tool, and practices within the organization, it also aims for innovation, decision-making, agility, and increasing complex and dynamics environment. So all the positivity comes from the digital knowledge management. But when we are talking about that, how it improves our life, the access of something doesn't matter if it's positive, sometimes have a negative consequence on the life of individuals who are involved with it. So the concept of digital knowledge management, I like to discuss it from the lens of techno-stress, that how if the digital knowledge management is not being properly supervised, surveillanced, and the coaching is provided, it can turn it to the stress. So what the literature discusses when it comes to techno-stress, it's said that it is a technological demand which is affecting the individual life, specifically right now, currently in small, medium, and organization in Malaysia, where they have to look into how consistently technology would improve their life. So to understand techno-stress in a better way, we have to understand when we're looking into the techno-stress, we are looking into the different components, which can be the overload, means you have to work faster, you have to keep up with the digital tools. So we know that. There was 3-5 years back, we were not looking into the use of AI as such. Then when we started using the use of AI, for instance, it can be your ChatGPT or it can be the Gemini, simple AI tools, it started to transform how we are working within our sector. For instance, I come from academia. So one of the challenges we face since the use we have seen in the students is we started to face that, okay, we are not very much sure that the assignments the students are doing, is it by themselves or they're using the AI. So we are still struggling with it, and we do have some software which detect that, but still the policies are not clear. It's not just that it's not clear in Malaysia. I would say the West is also struggling with it, that to what extent we can allow the use of AI. So you have to keep up with the technology, right? Same goes with the corporate industry. So if you maybe have looked into one of the few newses in couple of months, that was actually wild news in Australia when the government sector has created a report, and when it was introduced and made it public, they started to understand and they started to learn that there are few flaws in the report when it comes to the citation specifically. And when they cross-checked it, the citations are not referred, those were fake. So one of the problems, it's not just the academia who are facing, it's the journal companies. So now they are struggling whether we should allow the employees to go and use the AI or we should refrain from it. So that debate is ongoing. You cannot stop people from use of AI, but at the same time, yes, there's a problem that when we allow them to what extent. Then the next step is techno-complexity. Systems are difficult, require continuous learning. So doesn't matter in which industry you are, you have to keep up with the softwares. That's how you're going to have a competitive edge if you are actually in the world of AI. The third one is your techno invasion. Work intrudes into personal life by constant connectivity. There was a time when we can actually say that, okay, after 6, I'm going home. Please do not contact me. But like now your personal boundaries are being blurred. When the email is being sent to you after 6, there is a slight expectation that, okay, if it's urgent, you are required to reply, even on the weekend. So the work-life balance, yes, it's started to get disturbed. Another one is techno uncertainty. So frequent updates and changes creates instability. So we are in the constant rush to keep up with where we are right now and where we should be into the future. So that consistent tug and war keeps people on the edge, and you cannot find a bit of peace and stability when it comes to the use of AI. To understand it from the theoretical perspective, I'm just quickly going to go over it, is the use of job demand resource theory. So if you look into the theory, it actually discusses that an individual can have the job resources and job demands when they are working within the organization. However, there is a problem that how do you look into that a certain job demand is actually a job resource or it turns into a job demand. When we look into digital knowledge management, the conceptualization is, okay, it is a resource because it helps with the work, improve efficiency, improves knowledge, connectivity. It enhances the satisfaction and creativity because you are going to get a support. But at the same time, if your job demands going to turn into the techno stress, increases the information overload, complexity, same digital knowledge, it might convert into the techno stress. So this research is actually going to look into the dual pathway, that how a positive thing of having the digital knowledge might able to create a life of techno stress. So literature highlighted that, okay, if we have the problem of techno stress, and if we are not going to manage it wisely, how it going to affect an individual life. So one of the few things is the emotional exhaustion and reduced job satisfaction, because when we are on the edge that working for the technology and we are keep on submissive when it comes to technology, instead of taking a control, we might end up being exhausted and we might not end up liking the job we maybe love in a beginning. It might turn into lower organization commitment, and it might turn into high turnover intention, because if we cannot cope up with it, you might feel the feeling of helplessness. You might feel that, okay, it is consistent and you cannot keep it with the change. And then we have a cognitive overload. That's something we are facing a lot, especially because now we enter into the world which is more into boundary blurred. You do not know where is your home time. You do not know where is the work time. And even if you are on the, like, you take time off from the job, something happens, you are expected to reply. So it actually comes with the cognitive overload, too much information, too much to take care of. Decline in innovation and creativity. So if you are actually exhausted, burnout because of all those demands, which is there in your workplace because of the job, you might end up feeling that your innovation is compromised. You might feel that your creativity is compromised. So when we want to examine that how this digital knowledge management and technostrat is affecting the knowledge worker, this current research work, it focuses on the small and medium enterprises. And I have looked into the service industry, especially, which is currently looking into the knowledge worker, because they are the one who is currently in demand when it comes to knowledge management. So it could be your IT sector, your digital services, retail, commerce, education industry, could be your universities and school, training services, and the professional services. Anything where we have the knowledge worker and we see that they are working with IT, and they would be looking into how those things are going to affect their life. So let's look into the practical implication, why it's important. We have seen around in our real life how the digital implications, how the digital transformation is making its way in our life. We can see it in last 5 years when we were in the post-COVID era, during COVID and after COVID. And one of the things we have seen is the drastic change in digitalization in our life. we have talked about digital economy, gig economy, even before the COVID, but since we have passed that era, we are more looking into the digital economy. We are more looking into the individuals who has the ability to keep up with the digitalization. So even the simple context, simple terminologies of leadership has transformed. Now we are not generally talking about a leadership who has the ability to transform. We are looking into digital leadership, the individual who can lead teams when they are across the boundaries. So there are benefits of it, but yes, at the same time, we have to be vigilant that how much we let digital transformation lead our life. So the few practical implications of our study is that we have to look into that it is a strategic side of it. It's not just an IT tool. When we are using it, we do not and we should not allow it to lead our life. We have to make sure that we are using it to our advantage while making sure what is important. We went for digital transformation so that we want to have ease in our life. We want to make sure that we have more control in our life, not the other way around. And we are starting to blur those priorities in life, that family life matters. Your life outside the work matters. And when we are designing it, the user friendliness is important, that the AI should be able to help you when making a decision instead of making individual feels complicated and the pressure that you have to keep up with it, and you have the pressure that you have to be on the top all the time. It should not be there. Leaders plays very important role in this transformation. Then an employee is supposed to follow. That's always the case. So if we have leaders who understand and who are vigilant that the technological side should not invade their own personal life, they are going to live a life which is tend to be, they make them a role model where they know that the boundaries are important and the digital knowledge management does not cause techno stress among the employee. Whereas when we are looking into it, the continuous trainings and the ongoing support is important. So currently the training programs, when we look into the digital transformation, they focuses and their emphasis is more on how well you are in it, how good you are, and how fast you learn. But the training programs should also talk about that when we are looking into all those things, we have to be careful that it's going to help us in our everyday life while making sure that we are not feeling burnout and emotionally exhausted. So in conclusion, your digital transformation, it allows us to have opportunity, make our life easier. It accelerate the work, increase connectivity, and allow us to be more productive. But similarly, at the same time, we have to look into the risk that it might negatively affect the creativity and innovation when we are asking too much from our employees. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I will look forward for your questions at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aizza. It was an amazing and interesting research area. I think so. Most of us have already been experiencing techno stress with all the technological devices that we are around. I can only think of a world where suddenly, if the technology goes away, how would we end up writing our emails and doing our assignments? So it's going to be a really stressful environment if that happens. I will really encourage all the participants to have their questions lined up in the chat box. If you have, we will take all of them one by one once we conclude all the presenters. So I'll just move towards the next presenter. Please join me in welcoming our next keynote speaker, Dr. Vijay Anant Athavale from Walchand University of Technology, India. Can we have the video profile for Dr. Vijay? So Dr. Vijay Anant Athavale was awarded PhD in Computer Science 2003 from Barkatullah University, Bhopal, India. He has a rich teaching, research, and administrative experience of more than 32 years of serving in government and private universities and colleges in India and abroad. He has served academic assignments at Canada, the Republic of Yemen, and the Republic of Sudan. He also served as an expatriate expert for the United Nations Development Program to Ethiopia. He has been instrumental in shaping of several institutes of repute offering technical and management education in India. He has successfully led the transformation journey of some of the institutes, which has resulted in national and international accreditations. He spearheaded many innovative initiatives, including the industry academic integration. As a thought leader and a subject matter expert, he has presented numerous sessions at conferences, faculty development programs, and workshops, and his work has been cited in over 200 publications. That's impressive. He has published several research papers in international journals, including those indexed in SCI, Scopus, Web of Science, etc. He regularly contributes in various international and national conferences as keynote speaker, session chairs, organizing committee members, and etc. He is a reviewer for several SCI, Scopus, Web of Science Index journals. He has delivered several talks on emerging technologies in faculty development programs and others. He has contributed several chapters in books and handbooks published in IGI Global USA, Taylor and Francis Group, UK, Springer, etc. He has a keen interest in game-changing emerging technologies. In his current leadership role, he is serving as the principal and professor of computer science and engineering at Walchand Institute of Technology and Autonomous Institute, Solapur, India. Dr. Vijay, the time is yours.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
That's great. Are slides visible?
Yes, they are visible.
Thank you. So, good morning, all.
Can we have on this slideshow, please?
Okay. Fine?
Yeah, perfect.
Great. Thank you. That was a nice, kind introduction. I will be talking about rethinking economics, how technology and AI are shaping the future of business. Now, friends, the speaker before me, she also touched upon AI, its effects on human beings and things like that. I'll be talking about its economic perspectives. So let's move to the slides. We are witnessing an economic transformation as sweeping and consequential as the Industrial Revolution. Only this time, it is powered by artificial intelligence, digital platforms, and exponential technological advances. Major economies have experienced record-breaking growth in AI investments, with global private funding for AI growing by over 26% annually and expanding into virtually every business sector. This shift isn't merely about automation or isolated productivity gains. The global AI market alone is currently valued at approximately $391 billion and is projected to reach nearly $3.5 trillion by 2033, representing a 9-fold increase within a decade. AI technologies could generate more than $15.7 trillion in revenue worldwide by 2030, boosting the GDP of local economies by up to 26%. Yet, the real story goes deeper than macroeconomic numbers. As companies integrate AI into their core functions, we see profound changes in the nature of the work, business models, and economic opportunities. In advanced economies, about 60% of the jobs are now potentially impacted by AI, with many roles transformed, complemented, or in some cases at the risk of replacement. The pace of upskilling, changing occupations, and the emergence of entirely new job roles is accelerating. AI is also amplifying the value of innovation, intellectual property, and intangible assets, leading to a more intangible and service-oriented global economy. At the same time, this new era raises urgent questions about inclusion, equity, and readiness. The choices made by businesses and policymakers today will shape not only future prosperity, but also the fairness, sustainability, and reliance of the world economy. My keynote will explore these transformative dynamics, examining how AI and technology are upending traditional economic thinking, creating both unprecedented opportunities and new challenges for leaders, organizations, and societies worldwide. Key dynamics of AI global economic impact. There are certain areas which will be impacted more, like major capital investments. I've already told you the figures. More and more capital is going into developing AI products. Sector-wise transformation. Virtually every industry is being touched. Financial services, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, and professional services. Each stand to gain anywhere from hundreds of billions to trillions of dollars in additional value due to AI-driven innovations. Workforce evolution. AI could displace up to 92 million jobs globally by 2030. But it is also forecasted to create as many as 170 million jobs. This results in a net creation of 78 million new jobs, particularly in the areas requiring new digital skills and technical skills. Wage growth and skills premium. Workers with AI abilities, capabilities have seen wage rises twice as fast as those in less AI exposed jobs. And revenue growth has sharply accelerated in industries that quickly adopt AI after technological breakthroughs such as ChatGPT. Geographic and social divides. Advanced economies like US and China are receiving a disproportionate share of AI's benefits, including faster GDP growth and greater job creation, while developing economies risk widening digital and income gaps unless they adopt supportive policies and invest in digital infrastructure. AI is not only making economies more productive, but also shifting them towards intangibles such as data, software, and intellectual property. These invisible assets are now crucial drivers of value, making traditional economic measurements increasingly complex and challenging for policymakers to adapt to this new era. Now let's talk about the Indian economy, Indian case. AI and Indian economy. AI is rapidly emerging as a transformative force in the Indian economy as well. It is revolutionizing traditional industries, fueling job creation, and accelerating the nation's growth ambitions. India's AI market is projected to reach $28.8 billion by 2025, by the end of 2025, expanding at an impressive 45% compounded annual growth rate. The Indian government has prioritized AI through initiatives like the India AI Mission, targeting policy, funding, and talent development to ensure global competitiveness. According to NASSCOM, AI, data, and digital technologies could represent about 10% of India's GDP by 2025, with AI alone driving vast operational efficiencies and productivity gains. By 2030, India's GDP could see an additional $957 billion boost from AI adoption, with about 15% of it coming from productivity enhancements alone. Job dynamics. Job creation, workforce transformation. As we all know, it is going to create new jobs. Workforce will need to learn digital skills, reskill, upskill, maybe forget the past skills, learn new skills. So technology adoption is not just about job creation, but workforce transformation. Roles like AI configurators, data scientists, and experienced designers are on the rise, while others requiring repetitive skills are declining. Real-world business impact. Indian banks and financial institutions use AI for automated workflows. Even in queries by investors or customers, we use ChatGPT now. Reducing frauds and streamlining customer services is another area where a lot of investment is going in, while retail and e-commerce companies employ AI for productivity analytics, personalized marketing, and inventory management. Leverage AI for productivity, but face hurdles like high costs, limited technical resources, and scalability. Targeted incentives and capacity buildings are key to spreading AI's economic benefits beyond urban centers to the broader business landscape. India's AI journey is thus a story not only of impressive growth figures, but of national ambition, rapid digital transformation, and an ongoing push to ensure that the unparalleled opportunity unlocked by the AI are made accessible and beneficial to all. How businesses are adopting. Businesses worldwide are rapidly adapting to AI-driven transformations by rethinking strategies, upskilling talents, and redesigning processes. Strategy first should be the approach. Forward-looking companies are shifting from chasing AI use cases to embedding AI in their business strategies and operational models. They restructure workflows to optimize for AI's strengths, using automation and analytics to eliminate bottlenecks and optimize outcomes. Talent and training, they are not only recruiting new talent, but they are also training the existing workforce to make them AI ready. Technology integration, firms are investing in technology now. Change management, leadership is also getting changed. Younger leaders are emerging because they are more conversant with technology. They can adapt quickly. Ethics and governance is another important aspect. Effective adoption now involves creating clear guidelines for AI ethics, privacy, and risk management while maintaining transparency and accountability. Many companies are setting up dedicated committees for AI oversight and impact assessment. Strategic leadership and workforce transformation, we have already touched upon this. Building AI-ready workforce is an important aspect. Distributed AI leadership. Now, this is something interesting. Successful organizations adopt distributed leadership model rather than centralized AI responsibility in a single role. Executives across departments collaborate in embedding AI, ensuring alignment with overall business strategy, and promoting a culture of innovation and experimentation. Human AI collaboration, instead of replacement, AI acts as a co-pilot, augmenting human capabilities. Work design evolves to optimize collaboration between AI agents and humans, redefining KPIs, performance management, and decision rights. Leaders champion this new hybrid workforce model to boost productivity and innovation. Future-ready mindset. AI fluent leadership requires continuous learning, strategic foresight, and the ability to anticipate AI-driven disruptions and opportunities. Leaders use AI to simulate future market scenarios, evaluate strategic options rapidly, and develop agile, resilient organizations ready for uncertainties. Ethical and societal considerations. Fairness and bias mitigation is one of the most important aspects. AI must be designed to treat all individuals equally, preventing discriminatory outcomes often rooted in biased data. This is vital in India's diverse population to ensure AI models are inclusive and representative. Accountability and transparency, clear responsibility for AI decisions must be established. Systems should be explainable so that affected individuals understand how and why decisions are made, addressing the black box problem. Data privacy and security, strong safeguards are necessary. We all know the hacking and all those things, no need to talk about it. Safety and risk management, AI systems should be reliable and safe with robust testing and governance to avoid harm. This includes preventing malicious uses such as deepfakes, algorithmic discrimination, and systemic risks that threaten societal well-being. Inclusivity in access. Ethical AI development emphasizes bridging digital divides by improving AI infrastructure and expanding access, especially in undeserved regions and marginalized communities. So let us have a call for action. What needs to be done? Embrace a human-centric, inclusive AI future. Accelerate responsible adoption. Invest in talent and skills. Strengthen ethical frameworks. Foster public-private partnerships. Collaborate across governments. Promote inclusive AI access. Cultivate a future-ready mindset. So in terms of, if I look at India, India is uniquely positioned to lead us as a solution provider for choices for emerging and developing economies through strategic investment in AI innovation, governance, and workforce preparedness. The moment calls for both cohesive and inclusive action to ensure AI drives sustainable economic transformation that benefits all citizens. This is the shared challenge and responsibility we must seize to harness AI not just as a technology, but as a foundational force reshaping the future of economies, businesses, and society in India and beyond. The future, it has a lot of opportunities, transformational growth. Traditionally, countries or regions which were left behind during the earlier industrial revolutions have a chance to make it up and be at the forefront of development and adoption of AI. Transformational growth is possible, inclusivity through technology, voice first AI interfaces, regional language models, and smart contracts promise to overcome language, literacy, and systemic barriers, empowering billions of informal workers and undeserved communities to participate in the digital economy. Talent and entrepreneurship, lot of new possibilities are coming up, so there is a huge scope for entrepreneurs to come in. Localization of AI models, development of indigenous AI models tailored for the linguistic and cultural diversity is a strategic imperative. Improving AI adoption and data sovereignty, as well as addressing local challenges effectively. New business models, something which has not been thought of so far, can be thought of. Challenges are capacity and infrastructure. AI development and deployment requires significant investment in AI research, supercomputing infrastructure, data availability, and affordability training to meet rising demands, ethical consideration and governance as adoption evolves, increases, new mechanisms and policies must come out so that the AI adoption remains ethical. Addressing job displacements, will have to reskill workers and redesign labor markets to address disruptions and ensure equitable benefits. Inclusive access, ensuring AI benefits reach rural and marginalized communities, demands targeted policies that improve digital infrastructure and literacy while closing the digital divide. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vijay, for a very relevant and updated challenge that we are facing today in today's world. For any questions, we have our chat box open. You can put it over there, and our presenters would take the opportunity to answer that in the chat box. And once we are done with the presentations, we can formally have a question and answer sessions at the end of it. Without any further ado, I would like to invite my next speaker. Please welcome Dr. Mohan Cherian, Presidency, University, India. Can we have the video profile of Dr. Mohan, please? Dr. Mohan Cherian is a seasoned professional with over 30 years of experience in developing and executing complex business strategies across FMCGs, consumer durables, supply chain, textile, consulting, and academics. Renowned for his exceptional leadership and organizational skills, he brings a holistic approach to business management and team development. As a professor of management in Bangalore, Dr. Cherian creates an inspiring learning environment that nurtures talent and encourages transformative growth. His passion lies in the empowering young minds, guiding them towards excellence through mentorship and motivational engagement. His research in service quality bridges tech theory and practice, contributing to academics and business insights alike. Driven by the principles of striving for perfection, Dr. Cherian continues to serve as a role model and community leader dedicated to shaping the next generation of achievers. For Dr. Mohan, you may have your slides on slideshow, please. And the time is yours. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And I hope my screen is visible. My slide is visible for everyone.
Yes, your slide is visible. Can you have on slideshow, please?
1 sec, I'm trying to get into it. Okay, is everything okay to go ahead? You can see me and I'm audible and the slides are visible?
Yeah, everything is perfect. Thank you, Dr. Cherian.
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for inviting me to speak on this August occasion. I'm Dr. Mohan Cherian from Presidency University, Bangalore, India. The topic is transforming economics through AI, technology, and strategic management. This is a very vast topic, and I have tried to summarize it into a few slides. And we would, due to time constraint, we can have a long discussion for hours and hours because the time given is 30 minutes. We will, maneuver it in such a fashion this delivers the best result. Without much ado, I'm just going to the presentation. So, in The Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith noted that farmers avoided growing potatoes, fearing they would rot before sale, a loss that discouraged cultivation. Similarly, today's fear of AI replacing human labor echoes the same anxiety, posing a modern threat of job loss and human displacement in the evolving economy. The transformation is definite, whether we like it or not, we accept it or not. It's a sure shot thing. There's going to be a lot of transformation in the AI, which we are already facing. And it's going to transform the global economic system, comparable to the impact of the industrial revolution we had many, many decades ago. This transformation will usher in a new economic paradigm, moving beyond the current industrial model. Let's have a quick look how it will affect. The artificial intelligence and technology's rapid advancement enables it to automate both cognitive and physical tasks across nearly all sectors. There is significant uncertainty about the timeline and the scale of AI-driven changes, though. Some of the researchers foresee transformative change within the next 1 to 2 years, while others anticipate a gradual shift over the next 5 to 10 years. It definitely got an influence in economics. The artificial intelligence is already influencing productivity, and its effects are beginning to be felt in labor markets and financial systems. The uncertain trajectory of AI presents a major challenge for economic policymakers. Just to bring in a short picture of how it affects financial systems, if you look at the banking industry in general, they're all transforming, or they have already changed to fintech. Everything is automated, and even there are speculations. The traditional banking operations across the counter will close down in the next few years, and it's only going to be fintech with engineers manning this operation. So there is automation. It's a part of life. We are only experiencing it. It's going to scale up in the days to come. Policy makers, we have certain actionables. We cannot deter ourselves from this tremendous growth of AI and technology. And policy makers, they can plan for scenarios ranging from incremental adaptation to rapid disruption. Now, it's so unpredictable. We have seen how technology has taken over in the last several decades, and how the Gen Z is, actually responding to it. And it's essential to ensure that the benefits of AI are widely shared across all sections of society today. We are speaking about inclusivity of people in technology and AI. This artificial intelligence represents a fundamentally different kind of technology capable of substituting human cognitive abilities across all domains. If AI can match or surpass human performance in these tasks, it will disrupt existing economic models and labor structures, which is not a simple task to handle. The view of, again, artificial intelligence researchers, it is depicted like below. They predict such capabilities are within reach, signaling a deep systematic change. And this shift will require rethinking the core economic frameworks, including labor, value creation, and productivity. The potential transformation expected. Let's not overhype AI, but it's essential to acknowledge the transformative potential that it's having. The Industrial Revolution, just like what happened, transformative AI could reshape the very foundation of the global economic system. Why should the economics and financial policy makers worry or think about or plan about AI policy? This will definitely guide the integration of AI in a manner that maximizes benefits while mitigating risk by proactively addressing AI related challenges and opportunities. The objectives of AI policy in finance and economics, we'll have a short, talk about it here. Changes policy objectives. It can really change the policy objectives, create new challenges, and can really amplify the existing ones towards achieving the objectives. And it can also introduce new tools for policy making to achieve its objectives with the potential to significantly enhance effectiveness in these two fields mentioned. We cannot avoid innovation and growth. We'll touch upon that. In the next decade to come, artificial intelligence could generate value comparable to entire industries, leading to productivity gains similar to those from the adoption of electricity and digital technologies. This is quite interesting, comparing this with our introduction of electricity, how it changed the industries, how we started looking at different things, and the digital technology, how it transformed the entire economic and financial sectors in a lot of countries. There's a historical context, which I would like to, link it with the productivity challenge. Since the post-World War II economic boom, known as the 30 glorious years, most developed economies have experienced a gradual decline in growth rates, referring to it as secular stagnation. Very secular, organic in nature. It was bound to happen. It has happened due to reasons like diminishing returns on innovation, demographic changes, institutional and regulatory framework, and labor reallocation to relatively less productive sectors. A have reversed this trend. Increased productivity, AI's ability to automate and enhance production of goods and services have catered to it. Accelerated innovation, its potential to generate new ideas, products in forms of organization, thereby fostering long-term economic growth. How is AI, enhancing productivity? The mechanization transformed agriculture. The assembly line revolutionized manufacturing, and digitization modernized economy. AI stands to dramatically increase the efficiency with which we produce goods, especially services. The automation of simpler tasks frees up human labor for more complex and creative work, thereby raising overall productivity. We'll get into the details a little later. I have certain suitable literature review that speaks about these pieces of evidence. The authors analyzed impact of generative AI on worker productivity as a US customer services firm. Here we are touching on the services sector. The firm gradually introduced an AI tool that helped employees respond to customer queries through automated suggestions. The results showed a significant productivity boost. Employee output increased by 14% in the first month of using the AI assistant and stabilized at around 25% after 3 months. So you can see the subsequent rise in percentage as far as productivity is concerned. And this is from a microeconomic study by the author in 2023. In US, for instance, studies have shown that AI tools like ChatGPT, which is very famous and most popular among the current generation, can increase the productivity of consultants and managers between 25 to 30%. Noi and Zhang 2023, Dell Aqua 2023. And this definitely demonstrates AI has the potential to deliver productivity gains across a wide range of occupations, both low and high skill. Again, famous author Baldwin, enhance productivity. According to him, it has enhanced the productivity and innovation driven by AI can lead to increased trade in specific services, which in turn could result in higher trade volumes and greater economic interconnectedness on a global scale. For example, AI has been shown to increase the number of foreign users of AI driven mobile applications by an average of tenfold. Quite interesting. The WTO's report on AI and trade highlights that AI's most significant impact will be on the services trade, driven by four factors. We'll have a quick look. First, barriers to intermediate services trade are primarily technological, with minimal regulation of back office services. The second point, digital technology is rapidly lowering these barriers. Third, AI technologies such as machine translation and upcoming speech translation are making domestic and foreign workers more interchangeable. Finally, generative AI will accelerate this by transferring the skills of high skilled workers from developed economies to emerging economy workers, making their output more similar. So it's easy to conclude that this is going to affect a cross section of people from all across the globe. We'll have one more review, which is quite interesting. The projections using WTO global trade model suggest that services in sectors such as education, human health, recreation, and finance could experience substantial growth in trade. This means that AI is set to boost trade in services previously thought as non tradable by enhancing global collaboration through tools such as video conferencing, transcription, translation, and virtual reality. These advancements enhance information and communication technology services, overcoming geographical barriers and enabling real time interactions, negotiations, and decision making. So, these findings underline the potential for AI to significantly boost trade in services and foster more interconnected global economy, which is the need of the hour. This also has a great impact on small businesses, especially SMEs. At the same time, this is becoming clear that global efforts to mitigate regulatory fragmentation related to the use of AI, ranging from sector-specific regulations to intellectual property and data governance, could reduce economic cost, particularly for small businesses, which is an important point to be noted. At the same time, on the other side of the coin, it's also going to impact bigger businesses. The author argues that AI's economic effects will primarily come from cost savings and productivity improvements at the task level, which is a critical factor in production. His analysis suggests that GDP and aggregate productivity gains will depend on how many tasks are affected and the average cost savings achieved. According to the current estimates of AI exposure and task level improvements, Nwaogu projects a relatively modest increase in total factor productivity, not more than 0.07 per year over the next decade. Let's have a quick look at the generation of new ideas. The potential of AI to transform the way we generate new ideas, innovations, that is what we are going to discuss. Historically, key scientific and technological breakthroughs have had a profound and lasting impact on growth. For example, the invention of calculus in the 17th century, when you look at it, revolutionary physics, while advancements in glass polishing techniques enabled the development of the microscope, leading to critical discoveries in medicine. Very profound discovery. And if AI continues to aid researchers in generating new hypotheses designing experiments, and conducting research, the pace of innovation could accelerate, leading to a permanent increase in productivity growth, leading to further economic growth universally. There is again a historic parallel. In the 20th century, despite the availability of electric power, in the beginning, I am talking, factories continued to organize themselves around a central drive shafts, a legacy of the watermill and steam powered era. It wasn't until innovations such as electric motor and assembly line were fully implemented that productivity surged. Remember, I said this is a historical parallel to AI. And similarly, AI's widespread adoption will likely require fundamental changes in organizational structures, business processes, and additional investments in infrastructure. However, the adoption curve for AI could be shorter, especially with the rapid spread of generative AI tools that are relatively easy to integrate into various sectors. Earlier, the video games manufacturing were taking 6 months. Now, with the invent of AI, it can be reduced to 2 months. There is a greater role for institutions and competition in AI-driven technology, and there's a question. The rise of companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft initially contributed to productivity growth in the late 90s and the early 2000s. However, their dominant positions eventually hindered the entry of new competitors. The AI revolution presents a similar risk monopoly. Jobs and labor productivity. A report from Goldman Sachs report highlights that generative AI could boost global productivity, but may expose 300 million jobs to automation, prompting significant labor market disruption. Policymakers face the challenge of promoting AI-driven progress while implementing protective measures for workers and consumers against the associated risk. The impact of technological change on employment is a long-standing issue. We all have faced it. We all have seen it in our lives, with a history that can be traced back to the Industrial Revolution itself. The fear of technology destroying jobs and displacing workers is not a new one. An extensive literature on creative destruction explores how innovation can lead to job displacement. We are not insulated against it. It's a fact. Simultaneously, evidence suggests that technological progress reduces unemployment at the same time. Over the past few decades, the labor market has polarized between high-skilled and low-skilled jobs, leaving medium-skilled positions most vulnerable to technological advances like computers. Again, here, the experts remain divided over the potential impacts of AI on employment, with both optimistic and pessimistic perspectives. The pessimistic view focuses on the displacement effect, with estimates suggesting that nearly 40% of global jobs are at risk due to AI-driven automation. In contrast, optimists argue that AI will result in a substantial loss of jobs is limited, as AI's productivity and reinstatement effects will compensate for any job losses, ultimately driving overall job growth. The effects of AI and automation on employment can be categorized into three main channels: displacement, productivity, and reinstatement effects. AI may displace workers in specific sectors while increasing productivity, potentially creating new job opportunities in industries where human labor maintains a comparative advantage. Again, evidence suggests technological progress reduces unemployment. Over the past decades, this is a repetition slide, I'm sorry about it. The effect of new technologies such as automation and robotics on employment depends on whether these technologies substitute for or complement human labors. We must look at it. Whether technologies substitute for or complement human labor. Additionally, even if AI complements labor, workers may still face significant changes in skill and task requirements. This shift could result in the emergence of new specializations and professions, while others may disappear altogether. I would like to, before we get into the summary points, I would like to speak about the invent of computerization, electronic telephone exchanges in my town in India around 40, 45 years ago. We had a system, I'm from a town where, people do a lot of trading and communication is extremely important. So I must tell you the method of calling people using the telephone. You have to take the receiver, dial the number. It will go to the exchange. The exchange guy will connect with the customer or who you want to speak to, and there is a conversation happening. It would take hours together to get connected. Electronic exchange came, and there's a transformation and a paradigm shift in communication. A lot of protest, and people were thinking their jobs are going to be lost. Now, from that manual telephone to electronic exchange to mobile phone to smartphones, things are doing great. So we cannot insulate ourselves from technology and AI growth, and kind of strategic management of these things would lead to very good, output for the world global economic growth. So the points which we have, touched upon, why transformation in economics is inevitable, and the speed and uncertainty of change, it cannot be predicted. There are varying versions. There is a great impact of AI on policy and productivity. People should look into it. Productivity and growth go hand in hand, and we cannot insulate ourselves from the impact of AI. Technology adoption and historical parallels we have seen with respect to digitalization and electricity, and role of institutions, competition and small businesses and large businesses we have touched upon. The labor market impacts we have seen in terms of production and other factors, and international trade and services. So I must tell you the strategic management for the future could be that policymakers play a crucial role in shaping how AI impact economics. By actively guiding the integration of AI, they can maximize long-term benefits such as increased productivity and innovation while minimizing the risks like job displacement and inequality. And this leadership ensures economics are resilient and adapted to deep structural changes in how value is created, how labor markets evolve, and how productivity is measured and achieved in the AI-driven era. Thank you. That's all from my side. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you very much, the organizers.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mohan, for an exciting and detailed presentation. I would like to thank everyone, to all the presenters and keynote speakers. We'll move towards the question and answer session until we wait for the final presenter for today, the keynote speaker. I would like to thank you so much to all the keynote speakers for their informative and engaging talks. Our speakers has provided an unparalleled deep dive into the subject. Just a friendly reminder to everyone to use the chat feature to ask for a coffee refill on my behalf. We'll now begin the question and answer session. Your participation is like a parachute and only works when it's open. So please use and raise your hand button and unmute yourself to speak. I'll allow you to unmute yourself once you have raised your hand, and then you can ask the question. So anyone who wants to ask a question, he needs to raise his hands first. You can ask a question from any of the keynote speakers that has presented today. So the floor is open for the question and answer session.
Sorry, can I intervene for a minute?
Yeah, yes, Dr. Mohan.
I have another session at 9:15, so the Indian time. So if you let me excuse, I'll be really grateful. Please send on the chat box, and my email is shared. I'll share my PPT with the participants. Thank you very much, and we'll meet again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mohan.
Thank you
so much.
Everyone.
Thank you. I think so. There are many questions. Okay, Dr. Sugetro Agun has asked a question. Let me ask him to unmute himself, and you can ask the question.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. This is to be Dr. Chen. Especially for developing country and developed country, this is have different term of culture, right? For the example is quality of product, customer behavior, and so on and so forth. You already explained to us for the example is promotion to selling second hand fashion, especially in one of solution for carbon neutral activity or reduce carbon. How to promote this activity, especially in developing country? Thank you.
Dr. Chan, if you are here, you may respond to the question that has been asked. Dr. Chen, are you here?
I'm sorry, Mr. Ali. I think Dr. Ran is have another agenda, so
Okay, okay.
you
So,
can read the question from the chat box and then you can ask to the keynote speaker. I think there
okay.
are Dr. Vijay and also Dr. Aizza here.
Yeah, Dr. Aizza, there is some questions for Dr. Aizza. Let me go to the chat box. I think so. The updated one is for Dr. Aizza. How can researchers ensure that AI generated ideas maintain originality and scientific rigor rather than just combining existing knowledge?
Okay, that's actually a whole debate, not just one single question. Thank you for asking. So how can researcher ensures that AI generated ideas maintain originality? Okay. You're saying in one statement that the idea has been originated by AI, then how can we actually maintain the originality when the idea is from the AI? So you cannot do that. Like, there's a wrong perception for us when we look at AI and we think that creativity and innovation might be and maybe coming from the AI. That's not possible. AI is a tool, and whenever anyone gives priority to AI more than that, you're going to step onto the debate and controversy that what is your uniqueness and what is your contribution and what AI is actually contributing in your work. So if you look into the research and especially the journals, they have given and they have come up with the clarity that they ask you at the end of the recent articles when you're published, they ask you if you actually have used the AI, to what extent you have used the AI, you have to actually make a disclaimer. You have to come up with the statement which highlights how you use the AI. Let's say for you are using it for the grammar. That's it's okay. It's totally okay. We are writing, sometimes we make few errors. We use AI, so don't go through the same statement again and again. So you have to make sure that we write it. We have many published articles which is based on the contents being driven from the AI. But again, when we are saying that we do not claim it's our own idea, we say that, okay, it is actually being driven from the basis of AI. So the ethics actually are important here, and each researcher, they have to make them self-accountable that they do not compromise on the integrity of research. So thank you.
I think so. There was another one earlier. What is one immediate and low-cost action that micro SMEs can take to reduce the techno stress starting today?
Okay, not an easy question.
Yeah.
So for small, medium, and organization, what you can see that, okay, does not put employee under pressure. Maybe I think so that could be good to have a dialogue with your employees. That is one of the things a leader can do. Have a conversation with your colleagues, have a conversation with your employee. And whenever you are bringing a change, maybe it is wise to have a discussion before you bring that change, and then ask that whether employees are currently okay with it. You can look into the training program, especially usually the way training program has been designed. So the start of a training, end of a training, you can ask them how they actually feel with the change they are going to bring. So I think that should be the first one. You cannot stop the technology, that you cannot stop the change, but maybe you can have a dialogue with your employees that how much they are comfortable. Is the pace okay for them? So maybe support them when the change is going on. Thank you.
Dr. Aizza, since you are still here, so there's another question from the audience. You emphasize that digital knowledge management should be treated as a strategic lever, not just a tool. What common mistakes do companies make when implementing digital knowledge management? And how does digital knowledge management directly contribute to enhancing creativity within teams, especially when techno stress is high?
Okay. I can partially answer this question because my whole research, like right now, the 3-year research, it's actually around this key question, that how digital knowledge management is helping with the creativity, and how to what extent there is stress. So for now, in the beginning of research, we have interviews with some key people from the industry, different industries, and we looked into that how the digital knowledge management is affecting. So yes, they have shared from the past experience that it helped the company with the work. Means when they bring in the few AI tools, the creativity was higher in the sense that the work is more efficient. They get to do more in a brief amount of time. But at the same time, they started to see that there are actually errors and problems, especially when it comes to the industries, which is working with the reports. So now the AI allows you to actually create the reports, but the problem is that sometime, and you have to be very much vigilant to what extent the AI is using the data you have given them, or what is AI actually contributing when it includes fake statistics or fake references, because that happens when you let AI to come up with the report and you do not apply the constraints. So the bringing the balance between these two is actually making a mistake, that to what extent you can use it to your advantage without compromising the integrity of the work you are working on. I hope it answers, but the final conclusion, how it exactly and to what extent it is doing, you have to wait three years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aizza, for answering each and every question with great details. I'll just confirm from the team that Dr. Viana would be joining us for the last keynote speaker session or not.
Mr. Ali, thank you so much. So to all participants, we apologize because our last speaker is still have an issues. So I think she will join at 11 Jakarta time, and then we have 15 minutes before it, and then we will have a break before the Dr. Viana session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Alicia. I think so. In the meantime, we can have a small break. Let us have a virtual coffee together in the chat room, and if we can exchange ideas. The chat box is open for everyone. You can exchange your details and also discuss about some ideas after the keynote presentations. So we'll wait for 15 minutes and come back at 11 Jakarta time to continue with the last keynote speaker. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much. We'll have a break for 15 minutes. Thank you. Dandy, can we have this background music on so that we can casually wait for 15 minutes? Thank you, Dandy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the end of the 2025 International Conference on Economics, Business and Accounting. On behalf of the organizer, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to all session chairs, speakers, and participants for your valuable contribution and enthusiastic participation. We hope this event has been meaningful and beneficial for everyone involved. For documentation purposes, we kindly request all participants to turn on their cameras so we can capture this memorable moment together. I think Miss Aizza will take over for a while for this session.
Thank you, Mr. Dandi. So to all participants, please turn on your camera so we can take photos together. All right, so I will take photos together from the gallery 1. Please get ready. Three, two, one. Okay, next gallery, please turn on your camera. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right, the next gallery on 3, 2, 1. The next gallery, 3, 2, 1. Next gallery, 3, 2, 1. Then next gallery, 3, 2, 1. And then the last gallery, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dandy. You can continue the session.
Thank you so much, Miss Aizza. And we are also pleased to announce the 3 best presenters of this conference. And our first best presenter is Bulan Pratama Nanda Rifai from Presidency University, Indonesia. Congratulations for Bulan Pratama Nanda Rifai as our first best presenter for today's conference. And the second first best presenter is Taifur K. Umar from Universitas Khairun, Indonesia. Congratulations for Mr. Taifur for the second best presenters for today's conference. And the last best presenter is Nur Aidra Nabila binti Zulkarnain from Universiti Science Malaysia. So congratulations to the winners. Each best presenters will receive a certificate which will be sent via email after the event. We would also like to invite you to share the photos taken during the event on your Instagram and use the hashtag 2025 ICEBAT, hashtag Khairun University, hashtag info AIBPM, and hashtag info for academia. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at AIBPM.conference and subscribe to our channel AIBPM Talk Series, where you can stay updated on our events, publication opportunities, and watch recording from our conference. Once again, we would like to express our sincere thanks to Khairun University, and IABPM for their valuable contribution to this event. At last, I am Dandi. Thank you for your spirit today, and we look forward to seeing you again at our next conference. Goodbye.
Cara betasu bisa rasa bahwa cinta yang punya kan su berubah. Setanangkan perbedaan sejanji mau setia sampai akhirnya tiba. Nona si valente kamu cinta. Nona si tebing bukan setanam berbeda, sejanji mau setia sampai akhirnya tiba. Nasib kami tamu cinta semua nasib supaling lain pan betar semua kita menyasar. Sang